Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt, dankjewel. Today's project is an Easter box, a diorama box. It need not be for Easter, but I made an Easter decoration with this cute little bunny. It's completely fold flat. I designed it for Easter eggs because there's a compartment inside where you can put Easter eggs or some other sort of present. I haven't got any Easter eggs to show you because I had them all, but okay. It's a fold flat box, and that means when you fill it with Easter eggs, the bottom may pop open, so I've devised a little seal to keep it closed. If you put something in which is lighter, a gift card for example, the box will stay closed. So come and join me to watch how it's made. Blijf gezellig kijken. Here you have one of the boxes which hasn't got the seal on yet, so I can show you that it is a fold flat box, which I always find very convenient. This one I did put a seal on, and I'm going to show you later at the end of this video how you can do that. I'm going to change the colour for the box today. This is Fresh Freesia with the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper, and I've decided I'm going to use Pool Party because I wanted to use this little turtle. And I'm just looking in my box here. I just cut it from the Designer Series paper by hand, then I die cut it, and this is what you end up with, and then I cut two more in Pool Party to make it really sturdy. Of course you need the Playing in the Rain dies for that, whichever image you choose. Pool Party cardstock, you can make the box. It's made in two pieces because it's too big for 12 by 12 and it's too big otherwise to run through the die cut machine. So I've decided to make it in two pieces, and I'll show you how. This is a different design of the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper, and of course for the background of the diorama I'm going to use this Designer Series paper, and I'll show you also how to cut that. So let us start with cutting the box itself, and you can cut it from one piece of A4 cardstock or even letter if you want to. And you need a piece which is 8 1/4 by 6 1/2. In centimeters, that is, looking for my notes, 16.5 by 21, so 21 by 16.5, and you need a second piece which is 8 inches. There we go, 8 inches by 4 1/2. And in centimeters, I just need to put my notes closer, otherwise I can't read them with my reading glasses. It is 20.3 by 11.5. These you're going to score. I'll start with the larger piece, and I'm starting with the short side top, and then I'm going to score this at, I'll just put my notes closer. Otherwise I have to keep bringing them in all the time. Short side top you score at 1/2 inch at 1 7/8, 6 3/8, no, sorry, 5 1/8. In centimeters that is 1.2, 4.7 and 13. You make a quarter turn and you score again at 1/2 inch at 1 7/8, then at 6 3/8, and finally at 7 3/4. In centimeters that is 1.2, 4.7, 16.2 and 19.7. And while I have my simply scored out, I'm going to score the other piece as well. With the long side top, you're going to score that at 1/2 inch, 3 3/4, and 4 3/4. And in centimetres, that's 1.2, 9.5 and 12 centimetres. So that's the scoring done. I'm going to start with that piece, the larger piece. I'm going to fold all these score lines. And I'm going to cut. You cut up the score lines at both ends up to the second score line. You wedge that long bit, that's a glue flap. Then you shorten these, just cutting along the score line, and you wedge them. So this is what you have now. I'm going to continue with the second part of the box. Again, I'm folding these score lines, and with my bone folder I am flattening them so you get a nice sharp crease. This is a glue flap as well, and you wedge that too. Just a tiny wedge will do. Now before I do any sticking together of the box, I'm going to attach the designer series paper, and I'll show you how to cut that. The Dandy Designs. I have here a 12 by 12 piece. That's just what I had left. What you need is a 4 1/4 strip. So if you have anything lying around which is 4 1/4, that will do. So 4 1/4, and then you're going to cut off. And if you want to have a continuous paper, you can cut in. Oops, you can cut in this order. If it doesn't matter with these dots, it doesn't really matter, but I'm showing you if you want to have a continuous pattern. You cut a 1 1/8 piece. Oh, and I forgot to give you the centimetres. You want a piece which is 10.9 centimetres, so 4 1/4. You cut a piece which is 1 1/8. In centimetres, that's 2.9. Then a 3-inch piece. In centimetres, that is 7.7, and I'm putting them down in this order. A 1 1/8 piece again, and a 3-inch piece again. So these are the pieces that go around like that, and then you want 2 pieces for the top and the bottom, and you need 2 pieces which are 3 inches. So this is a scrap, and then you have 2 1 1/8 piece. So you want 2 pieces which are 7.7 centimetres by 2.9. Okay, I'm going to stick those on. I'm taking away that one, that goes onto the back, and then this one goes there, that one goes there, and that one goes there. So if you have a continuous pattern, you see, here it doesn't really matter, as I said, but if you want to have a continuous pattern, this is the order in which you put them down, and that piece goes on to the second piece in a minute. So first I'm going to stick all these onto the box. I did not make a top and bottom part which is in a continuous pattern. You could if you wanted to, but because the box folds over like that, you see, you wouldn't notice anyway. So this is the first part of the box. As I promised, this goes onto the back, and here I have my piece, and I'll show you where to stick it down. I'm looking for my prototype, and there we go. Okay, so you keep it like this with the folded side down. So you want designer series paper there, and you want a piece of diorama paper there, the sky. So first I'm going to stick this down onto, which is going to be the back of the box really, when you've adhered everything. It looks complicated, this box, but it's not really. Unfolding it together is really easy peasy. So this is where I put it on, and this is going to be the back of the box when you've assembled it. And now you want a piece which is the diorama piece, and I'll show you how you cut the designer series paper. I have this one, I'll just close, put the cap on. This is the designer series paper, the Playing in the Rain, I think it's called. Well, if not, I'll blend the name in. And you want that piece. So first thing that you do, and I'm not going to do that because I have one piece left. See, this is what you want. So roughly there. So first, what I did, I cut off a strip there. And let me just check my notes. I cut off a 3 3/4 inch strip from the bottom. That is 9.5 centimeters. And then this second strip, so this is cut off, and then this second strip is 4 inches. Is it 4 inches? Yes, it is 4 inches. Okay. And when you've cut that off, then you can cut 4 of these, because this is 4 by 3 inches. So then you cut off 9.5 centimeters. So this is cut away 9.5 centimeters, and then you can cut off 7.6 centimeters pieces. So the diorama piece, the sky, I hope I'm making sense, but I didn't want to cut up that piece of paper because I've made plenty of boxes and I'm saving that piece. So this is 4 inches by 3 inches. So this in centimeters, that is 10.1 by 7.6. And if I'm not making sense, do check out my blog, because all the measurements are on my blog and the link is below. So I'm going to adhere that piece as well. It's the designer series paper is more complicated than the box itself, really. So I've put some seal in the middle and then the liquid glue around it, so I can move it about on my paper, and then I press down in the middle where the seal is, and then it's adhered, you see, and it doesn't slide around anymore. So, okay, now first you're going to have to cut the window. That's important, because if you stick the box together now, you won't be able to put it through your machine. And I'm using the stitched rectangles. I've made the frame with the 3rd smallest and the 4th smallest, but you cut the window itself with the 3rd smallest. You can see that here. So I'm going to cut the window first, the 3rd smallest, and I'm looking for where the middle is so that I have an equal edge all around. And with these dots it's fairly easy, because you can compare your die with the dots and then adhere it. This is 6.5 inches. That is too wide for the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but you fold over that edge and then it's 6 inches, and it'll just fit, believe me. I'll show you with my plates. Here's my bottom plate. I'm putting my box on, and then I put the top plate on, folding double that piece and making sure that it doesn't stick out anywhere, and then I can run it through the die cut machine. I run it through back and forth, so 2 times, to make sure that you cut through both layers of cardstock. Normally you will, but it's just to make sure. Okay, so I'm removing my tape very carefully. You see it's thicker now because the tape really sticks, so be careful when you remove it that you don't tear your paper. Okay, this is a scrap, a nice looking scrap, but a scrap nonetheless. So the window is cut, and I'm going to cut the frame for the window, and for that I need the die which is 1 step larger and a scrap piece of Pool Party. This is, I think it was 4 by 2.5 inches, even less than that. It's 3/7 by, 3/7 by 2 3/4. So let us say 10 centimeters by 6.4 centimeters, something like that. So you put the die in. See, the paper is just large enough, and then you put the second die in, and you equally space them. It's just okay, and then you secure them. They're on straight. Yep. And again, you run them through your die cut machine. And now I have created the frame, and you can save that middle part, this one I mean, for the seal later on. You remove these. Oh, be careful, Karen, don't tear anything. I was just too eager. So I'm saving that piece. This is a scrap, and this is something that I can attach around it. I'm using my silicone craft sheet for that because of the glue, and I'm using liquid glue, making sure not too much comes out. You don't want it to ooze out from behind. So just a very thin line of glue. I'm barely squeezing, I'm just holding it against the paper. Then I put the box on, and I can position the frame. Making sure all the edges meet. And give it some time to dry. Meanwhile, I can put the tear and tape on, and I'll start with the second piece. You want tear and tape on that glue flap, and then this has dried now. Some designers yeah, right, tear and tape, not designer series paper, tear and tape on that glue flap. Phew. Now I'm going to make sure that the tear and tape adheres really well, and you're going to stick the box together like this. So you want the tear and tape on that piece towards the left, and you're going to stick that piece on. See, you get one continuous box. I'm doing it like this because I find it easier to maneuver with that piece than with the other one. And I'm using my trick. I'm not removing all of the backing because I want some control. You see, I can look for top and there, see if it's positioned right, push down in the corners, and then I remove the rest, and then it's stuck, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, even if I say so myself. Okay. Oh, I forgot to wedge these pieces. If you don't wedge, you won't be able to close the box. So I should have done that earlier. Never mind. You can still do it. You can even do it when the box has been put together. Okay, so take a good look at what you have now. Right, then I'm going to assemble the box. I'm going to fold it down along, here you have one score line, I'm going to fold it down along that second score line, like that. Remove the backing. Come on. And then along that score line, I'm folding over the box. So the next score line, the one which is just in front of the flaps, fold it down. Okay. See, this is how the mechanism works. Then it's flat. You remove the backing. I and you fold it over along that score line. Fold again, make sure everything adheres well, and then you can tuck in the flaps, and you can see you can put eggs or a present, or well, a really tiny present, a gift card or some money even, behind the panorama bit, the diorama bit, and then you have a cute box. I'm going to put the little turtle on. I'm making this box for a boy, so I'm not putting a ribbon on. I thought a ribbon would be too girly. So first I'm going to put glue dots on, and this is where he's going to be stuck to the box. I've discovered that sometimes the glue dots come off really hard, so I've decided to do it like this. See? And you have to cut away that paper anyway, so my glue dot is at the end, and then I can put it where I want it. I have even more control. Oh, and you can put it on best when the box is flat. So, there we are. See, this is sturdy because I put some extra cardstock underneath, and now you can put the box together. Now if you put something light in there, it'll stay closed. If you put something heavy in there, like loads of chocolate eggs, the bottom will pop open. So this is where the seal comes in. For my seal, I am using an old punch, the 1 3/8 inch punch, but you could also use the beautiful shapes if you don't have this circle punch, and it's the second one. That is the same size, see? So the second one of the beautiful shapes, you could die cut that. I've got an extra one there, but I'm using my punch. And I'm folding it in half, trying to be very neat about it. There we go. And then with your bone folder. And then I'm not going to do that now because you can put glue on, and then you can stick it on there, see? And then it'll end up like this, and your box won't pop open anymore. But I'm leaving mine fold flat until I need it. So, 2 lovely boxes, and no ribbon because this is for a boy. Okay, that's it for today. If you'd like to see more of my videos, there are some suggestions there, and of course there's loads more on my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Dankjewel voor het kijken, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, tot ziens!